Hello Game Boys and Game Girls, I'm the Game Boy Guru, and welcome to another pickups video. I got a chance to go game hunting today, and so I thought I'd show you guys everything that I picked up. And I also had a couple of items arrive this week in a trade, so I'll start with those and kind of show you those. These are both courtesy of Urzaz Rage, Urzas Rage on Twitter. Really cool guy, fun to chat with about gaming and collecting. He's an avid collector and really knowledgeable, and so great guy to definitely do trades with because he's very helpful and he's very nice. So the two games that I got from him in a trade are both for PSP. One is Adventures to Go by Natsume, and the other is Dungeon Explorer Warrior of Ancient Arts, which I hadn't heard of. I'd heard of Adventures to Go, but not this one. So this would be interesting. I think it's related to the older Dungeon Explorer titles, but we shall see. It's by Hudson, so that's why I say I think it's probably related to the original Dungeon Explorer games that were on the TurboGrafx 16, and this is just a later game kind of in that series. But anyway, it looks like it could be fun. Now I will move on to a couple of things that I picked up at Goodwill stores today. First, I got Learn Geography for the DS. Nothing too exciting, but it is complete and kind of a neat, educational game. So give that a try. I got SSX on tour for the original Xbox, and so now I believe I've got this for the GameCube, Xbox, and PSP, I want to say. So I think I'm just missing the PS2 version. I also picked up a couple of additional PS2 games and one 360 game at Pawn Shop. So one is Hard Hitter Tennis by Atlas. I don't think this is supposed to be a serious competitor to Virtua Tennis, as you can kind of see what the art is focusing on, but could be fun. I got Dance Dance Revolution X2, and this is another one that is enhanced with the iToy. I really need to get a hold of one of those iToy games at some point, because now I have 3 or 4, maybe 5 of these DDR games that support the iToy, so I should probably get one at some point and try it out. And then I got Ashura's Wrath for the 360, which I found at Goodwill. Unfortunately, the case is busted up, so I'll have to see about getting a replacement box at some point, but otherwise it's complete and in reasonable shape. I picked up one random NES game at one of the game stores that I frequent, and that is RoboCop 2, complete with the dust cover sleeve, and surprisingly, I didn't realize this when I bought it, but it also has the manual. So that was a nice little find when I got home and pulled it out of the bag, because I did not see that when it was sitting in the glass case. So pretty cool to have that. Even though the original RoboCop game on the NES is sort of average and a little difficult, it's one that I grew up playing because a couple of my friends rented it all the time, and so I have fond memories of it, but never played the sequel, so we'll see whether that's any good or not. And I picked up 3 additional NES carts at the other game store, and that is Demon Sword, Dragon Power, which I remember seeing on the shelves for rental when I was a kid, but my friends and I never rented it. That's by Bandai. And Sunsoft's Freedom Force. And it's a Zapper game. I don't have my NES hooked up to my NES is hooked up to a CRT, but it is an HD CRT, so I'm not 100% sure if the Zapper works with that or not, because I haven't honestly tried it. If not, I'll have to move it over to a TV that one of my other CRTs. I grabbed a couple Wii U games at Walmart, of all places. I had seen this on Amazon, but I hadn't ordered it yet. But when I saw it in their bargain bin, I grabbed Runbow, and this is the original Runbow game, Satura's Space Adventure, all the DLC, and also the soundtrack. And I'm assuming that the soundtrack is like a digital download that is, you just get a code for or whatever. But I figured with that, since I'm getting it sealed, this code will not have been used, so I can actually take advantage of that. But same price that they had it on Amazon, basically a few cents cheaper, really. But I've never played any of the Runbow games, so I'd be curious to check that out. And the one that I was most excited to find was this one. This is the Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams Director's Cut. I've been considering getting this game, but I kind of wanted to wait until there was a little bit better deal on it because it retailed at $40 originally. Well, then they cut the price down to $15, and then today it's $7. And I saw that they had 3 or 4 copies at the Walmart that I went to. So if your Walmart has a large bin full of discount games and you are looking for this game, or you don't have it for your Wii U collection, check your Walmart because they might have a copy and you can pick it up dirt cheap, still sealed. So looking forward to that because apparently this is a pretty good platformer. And I do love my platformers. And I also picked up a number of games at the pawn shop. I really scored big today there. So I got Assassin's Creed Revelations for the PS3, one of the games in the series I didn't have yet. I got the original Gears of War for Xbox 360. I almost picked up a Gears of War Platinum Hits, but the disc was kind of in sad shape, so I didn't bother with that. I got Tom Clancy's Hawks, which looks to be a Ace Combat style dogfighting kind of game. This I was really excited for. The Metal Gear Solid HD collection, which has Metal Gear 2 and 3 and an HD version of Peace Walker, which was on the PSP. So very cool to have that. It's got some exclusive content, I think. Of course, it's got achievement support, but if memory serves, these HD upgrades have some additional content as well. So was really excited to find that. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I already have this for the 360, so this will be probably a trade copy, but cool to have another copy of that. And Splinter Cell Conviction, which I didn't have. So I think this makes 3 Splinter Cell games on the 360 now that I have, if I remember correctly. I got one Wii game, and that is Wii Sports Resort. Very cool to find this out in the wild for next to nothing, and has the disc and the manual, and surprisingly, this manual is huge. I think that's because it's multiple languages, but still, it's ridiculous that the manual is this big for a series of games that are relatively intuitive. And I know that this is kind of aimed at the casual market, but it seems like a lot of text and pictures for games that kind of walk you through how to play them. So anyway, interesting nonetheless. I got a bunch of other games here. Let me just pull these all out of the bag. It's quite a stack I actually made out with today. So I got a handful of duplicates that I'll be putting into the trade pile. I got Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. That'll be a trade item. Advent Rising, picked that up a couple of years ago, so that'll be a good one. X-Men Legends, I've got both Legends and Legends 2 for the Xbox. And then the other one I grabbed is Sudeki, which I already have, but this one's already spoken for. I've got a buddy that I'm doing some trading with, and he's already claimed this one because I gave him first crack at it. So here it is, and now it's gone. I also picked up a handful of other Xbox games for myself. I got Secret Weapons Over Normandy. Oh, Fable. This is a trade copy as well because I already have this. Ghost Recon Island Thunder. Metal Gear Solid 2, which I was excited to find. Unfortunately, the outer art is a little bit kind of wrinkled, almost like it's got some moisture in there, or had some moisture in there. I got Amped Freestyle Snowboarding, excuse me, and also Amped Platinum Hits. So now I have both versions of that. And a couple of random PS3 games. I got Delta Force Black Hawk Down, which I didn't have. SOCOM 3 U.S. Navy SEALs, which I didn't have the Greatest Hits version. And Max Payne Greatest Hits, which I didn't have. And finally, I got a whole stack of Atari 2600 cartridges. A whole bunch of them. So let me grab those real quick and I'll show you guys all of those. I'll just grab the bag and put it on my lap and then kind of pull them out. So we got Riddle of the Sphinx, which is a fun game. I remember playing this growing up because of my next door neighbor that I used to go over to his house all the time. He had both the NES and 2600, and he had Riddle of the Sphinx, and we used to play this a lot. So I remember having a lot of fun with this game. It's kind of a cool adventure title. I got Telegames 27. It's got a bunch of random small games. Shooting Gallery, Planes, Submarines, and Ships from 77. So probably one of the earlier VCS games. Missile Command, which, again, one of those we used to play all the time at my neighbor's house. So we'll be looking forward to doing that again. Adventures of Tron. I know about Discs of Tron, but I don't know if I knew of Adventures of Tron. And so it says 1982 Singapore. So I don't know if this is just if it was manufactured there or if this is actually a foreign copy, but pretty cool. Here's Telegames 23 from 1981. It's Catch, Ricochet, Lightning Ball, and Fireball, whatever that means. Got Freeway by Activision. Looks like a interesting kind of driving and avoid the traffic game. Kaboom, which I remember playing a number of times. I don't have a set of paddle controllers, so I'm definitely going to have to track some of those down, but this was one I had a lot of fun with as a kid. I got Vanguard, which was one of my favorites that my neighbor had, and definitely a fun sort of shoot-'em-up game, so glad to have that in the collection. I got Demons to Diamonds, which is one I've heard of by name, but I'd never played it. Uses the paddle controllers from '82, so kind of a later release, but definitely one that I want to check out once I get a set of paddles. There's Street Racer, and this doesn't have a date on it, so I'll have to look it up. It's missing the end label, but it's several different varieties. So there's Street Racer, Slalom, Dodge'em, Jet Shooter, Number Cruncher, and Scoop Ball are all these different variants that are on here. So we'll see what that's like. And finally, and Mark of Classic Game Room would be proud, Yar's Revenge. I've got a little bit of, I have a couple of memories of playing this as a kid. I've never really figured out how to play the game. I know there was a later release on the Game Boy or the Game Boy Color. I don't recall which. but I know it's one that's pretty much a classic. So cool to have that in the collection, and glad to get that and have that to where I can mess around with it. I need to get my Atari out of the basement, but once I do and get it hooked up to the CRT that you see behind me here, if I can move my finger right, the one, that one. So once I get it hooked up to that big bad boy, then I can start to mess around with some of my Atari games, which I haven't pulled out in a long time. So I'll be looking forward to that. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to all of you who comment on like the video. I do try to get to your comments and like them or give them a thumbs up or respond to them as quickly as I can, but I don't always. So thank you very much for those of you who do comment, and just keep it coming. Keep telling me. Let me know what fun stuff you guys have picked up lately, or talk to me about games. I want to have a dialogue and really kind of engage with you guys in terms of what it is that you're finding out in the wild. But anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for playing, and game on.